Hello and welcome to my corner of the internet. My name is Katie and this is my YouTube channel, Something by Katie. Today is going to be a fun one. I think I say that at the beginning of every video because I just really love makeup, but in this one I'm going to be combining my all-time favorite palette with its new sister palette. Yes, like everybody else, I love the Melt Gemini palette. I did not purchase the new version, even though it was in my cart 2 or 3 times and I almost did, but I resisted temptation because I still have this one and I love this palette and I didn't need the new version, but I did buy the new Gemini II. So I'm very excited to keep digging into this. I will also include a second look later on in the video when I'm providing some review thoughts. And I also, personally, when I first saw the Gemini II, I was like, wow, that's a beautiful rosy toned palette. It really reminds me of another Melt palette, the 27 palette. So I am going to provide some comparison swatches across the rosy side of this palette as well. So in this video, I'm going to combine the Gemini and Gemini 2 to create a look, actually recreate this look by Lora, one of the founders of Melt Cosmetics. I love this look she made, so I want to combine the palettes to recreate that, as well as do some comparison swatches across I own so many Melt palettes, but these two really do have a lot of similarities, the 27 and the Gemini 2. So I'm gonna compare those swatches, and then at the end I'm gonna provide my review of this new Gemini 2 palette because I have used it several times and I have some thoughts and I'm gonna provide those to you. So if that sounds like something you're into, just keep watching. But don't forget, if you enjoyed watching this video, to give it a thumbs up. Maybe hit subscribe so you see my future uploads, and I'm happy to have you here. Enjoy the video. Alrighty, before I dive into the look that I'm going to create or recreate, Lora's look, I do just want to share a few things that I'm wearing on my face. All of this makeup that I'm wearing on my face will be down in the description box below, but I did just want to share that today I am using a combination of some new products that I am trying out, as well as some old favorites. So for bronzer, I'm wearing my Alamar Cosmetics Brighten and Bronze Trio. I wanted more of a nude neutral blush, so I'm in the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism palette, and I used Gravity and Spacey here. Love this blush palette. I know Manny just came out with a new one. I haven't gotten it, but I still love the oldie but a goodie. On my lips, I am wearing the Dose of Colors liner in Escape. It's kind of an orangey tone, orangey neutral tone. I really love it. And then I have the new e.l.f. and Dunkin' Donuts Glazed All Day Orange Lip Gloss on. Loving it. Oh, and for primer, I did use the Do Not Forget primer from the e.l.f. and Dunkin' collection. These are the newer products I'm still testing out. And then for highlighter, I haven't applied it yet. I wanted to do that on camera because I am using an old favorite, Melt Shadowplay. This is so good. It's like a green highlighter. Thought it would be very fun with my Gemini palette. So here we go. Oh, it's so good. I love this. I love this formula. It's like pink and green. Oh, it looks so good. It's gonna be perfect for this look. I am gonna run it down the nose, on my forehead too, but mostly I just wanted to apply it on camera because I haven't used this highlighter in quite some time. So I'm really enjoying it though. It's so cool. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's dive in to the palettes. As I already said, later on I'm going to be doing some comparison swatches with Gemini 2 and the 27 palette, but for now, let's dig in to some eyeshadows. I am so excited. I freaking love this palette. Well, I love the Gemini palette, and I'm excited to combine these two. So first things first, in the look that Lora created, I think I'm gonna go in first with this mustard shade Lorelei in the original Gemini palette. Now it looks like I'm gonna need to take this here in my inner portion of my eyes. And I can take it all the way up to my brow. It appears she has done that. And I'm also just working off of one photo I found online, but I saw this and I was like, yes, I love doing all matte looks, especially with Melt mattes, because they are exceptional. Like I said, this is my all-time favorite palette. I have so many palettes and this one has stood the test of time. It's an incredible color story. So I'm gonna keep this pretty high up here on this side as well, because I will blend down into some of the rosy tones, but oh yeah, so far we are so good. Mustard to begin. Okay, next I'm gonna go into the Gemini 2 palette here, and I'm gonna take, I think, Sweetheart a little lower into the crease, and then I'm gonna deepen it up with Himalayas and LX Queen. Yeah, Sweetheart first, a little deeper. Let's see if I can even do this. I just thought this was such a beautiful combination of colors. Oh, I love that mustard and rose mix. I know several people have commented on this, but there are quite a few rose palettes coming out lately. Rosy and mauve-y toned must be coming back. I am not mad about it. Not coming back, but must be like a trend. You know what I mean. Trends come and go. Okay. It's a beautiful combination. All right, next I'm gonna go a little deeper here into Himalayas. I don't really know how to pronounce that. Not gonna lie, in college I took Portuguese, so sometimes my pronunciation of Spanish words gets a little jumbled because I'm like, is that Spanish or Portuguese that I'm saying? Again, just keeping this concentrated out here, blending, adding some depth. These are beautiful color combinations. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna use a Sigma E25 blending brush. It's kind of a flatter blending brush compared to this E38 that I'm using. If you can tell, there's quite a difference there. I'm gonna go into this deep burgundy LX Queen, and I'm gonna keep this concentrated kind of on the tip of the brush and then a little even lower onto the lid and like barely in that crease. Keeping this out here. So I'm going to use this shade to smoke it out. And then I am going to use some of the black shade Bonnie in the Gemini palette. It's working. It's working so far. Okay. Laying some more of this down. This is such a beautiful shade. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now I'm going, whoa! Now I'm going back into this dual-ended Sigma brush. This is an E54, right? I don't know, the name rubbed off. I think it's an E54, the medium sweeper. But regardless, this one is, you'll see, similar shape to this E25, but it's flatter. But it still has a little bit of a blending effect. It's a denser brush though, not quite as blendable. So now I'm gonna use the shade, I think I can mix Sweetheart and Bella here for the lid shade. We'll see how this goes, but I am gonna go like here on the lid. Okay, this is kind of working. And now I'm gonna go up a little higher, like kind of in between the yellow and pink. And I'm gonna take this light beige shade here, Luna. Oh, it's such a good one. Describing it as a light beige is like not doing it justice, but oh, all these shades are really unique. They're like the color you think it is with a little grungy tone edge to it. It's awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna go same E54 sweeper, if that's even its name. I'm gonna go like this. Pretty close actually. Yeah, this is working. See how I mean? It's like I'm taking it in between. Cool. Yes, it's working, it's working. Okay. Oh, I'm excited. I can see it coming together. I'm gonna make an attempt. Let me find a pencil brush. Okay, this actually is not a pencil brush, but this will work. This is a Luxie Small Shader 245. See how it's like kind of like the last one, but it's just like a flat brush like that. Okay, I'm gonna take Bella, that lightest pink in the Gemini II, and I'm just gonna concentrate this in the innermost of my tear duct. Yeah. It's kind of working. It's not exactly what she did, but it's lightening it up. Maybe she mixed that with Luna. Yeah. Must have. Just wanted to brighten this part of my tear duct up. All right, that worked. And then now I'm gonna take a Sigma E15 flat definer brush with the black shade Bonnie, and I am going to kind of line the top part and go up a little and just add some depth with this beautiful matte black shade. This is probably the best black in my whole collection. And by probably, I mean it is. I'm just gonna go it back in with LX Queen to add further depth here. So now I'm gonna take a different shader brush and get some of this rosiness on the bottom. I'm gonna mix Lovesick. Actually, I'm just gonna put Lovesick on this large shader brush, Luxie 209. And I'm gonna put this on the outer corner. I already lined with that definer brush in the Bonnie, the black shade. I lined the outer corner. Yeah, this was the move, Lovesick here. Then I believe this is the new shade in Gemini 2, Almond Eyes, is on the inner corner. We're gonna see if I'm correct, but I'm pretty sure it's not one of the green shades from Gemini. I did the color switch on this brush to clean it off a little bit, and then now yeah, I'll have to add a lighter green shade, I think, to this. Yes, I'm gonna add Fire OG, this one, as well. Yeah, it needs a little more of a brighter pop. Okay, and then on the outer edge of the bottom, I'm gonna go in with Lorelei here again, because it really is the common thread. Love how blown out this is. Ugh, it's so good. I think I did it. Let me add some mascara and I'll be back for the final judgment. I think I did a pretty good job for not being a makeup artist and for her being a talented celebrity makeup artist. I like really enjoy this look. I love combining like yellows, like sunset vibes basically, like yellows and rosy tones, and I just think it is really pretty. What do we think? Alrighty, I did the swatch comparison of the new Gemini 2, which is on the top, and then the 27 palette, which is on the bottom row. I will say there are no shade for shade dupes. They complement each other really well. So if you're a rosy toned lover, maybe skip the Gemini palette and just go for Gemini 2 and 27, because they do complement each other quite well. 27 is a bit more cool toned on this end. But yeah, I don't think they're shade for shade dupes. They're pretty similar, right? These few shades here are pretty similar, but in general, Gemini 2 is a bit darker. 27 has more mid-tone shades, but they're definitely not the same palette, and I'm happy to have both in my collection, personally. And also, okay, I just have to highlight on my fingers because I don't think they swatch particularly well, but I love this like red, rosy toned bronze and this deeper grungy green, these two metallics on my middle finger and my pinky finger. They are just chef's kiss, magnifique, great complements to the lighter shimmers in the original Gemini palette, in my humble opinion. I'm not gonna do full swatches of the old original Gemini palette, but I'll compare, like, I'll put side-by-side comparisons of all three of these palettes. They really do complement each other quite well, with like the combination of warm tones and rosy tones and all of the greens. But all in all, we're to the review portion if you cannot tell. I really think these two palettes, okay, let's not drop them. I really think that these two palettes complement each other super well. All of the greens in the Gemini II, which is on top, are deeper for the most part. The shimmer shades are deeper and they complement the bottom ones. These mattes are just simply a dream to work with. That's all I used today on my eyes. I am going to insert another look where I used Schmood, which is on the top, the Gemini II palette, and then I used Goals, the lighter green shade, as well. I used those together in a different look, and it's just a great palette. I'm gonna keep playing around with it, but I know and love the Melt formula, and I really love this Gemini palette. I'm fine with the fact that I didn't get the new version, like the new packaging, because I think that my palette still performs great, and I just really think that these color stories complement each other so well. The new Gemini 2 on top is my idea of a perfect spring palette, because it's got like, it is like a grungy rose. Like, it's got all these beautiful rosy tones with green, like an actual rose, like on the packaging. I just think that this packaging, it does kind of perfectly encapsulate what's on the inside, and that is a great springy rose-toned palette, but it's deep and grungy and delicious. I just can't get enough of the Melt color stories, and this is no exception. I really enjoy this palette, and I'm so glad to have added it to my collection, especially, and even though I also own this 27 palette. You saw the side-by-side swatches. Now let me again compare. I don't personally find there to be any shade for shade dupes, but it's a good compliment. The bottom one is, the 27 palette is for sure more of a like a neutral rosy toned palette, with these shades on this back half being all taupes and browns and like a bronze shade, whereas this one has the color added with the green and more of the pinks, but they are complementary. They're not dupes, and they do not step on each other in any way in my collection. I really am so pleased with this. I love that Gemini palette so much that I, like, when I saw the teaser that they were re-releasing the Gemini palette, I literally squealed, and then at the end of the video I squealed louder when I saw the tease for Gemini 2, because I was like, oh my god, what's it gonna be? And it did not disappoint. I'm really pleased with this, if you cannot tell. Big fan. I'm really happy to have purchased it. Not disappointed that I didn't get the new packaging of the Gemini, because I don't think I need it. Every review I've seen has said that the shimmer shades are just a little bit better, which I believe that, but I don't think I needed to spend all that extra money just to get some updated packaging. Like, I haven't hit, even though this is my favorite palette, I've not hit pan in any of the shades. I'm pretty close here in Luna, and I bet I could hit pan in Lorelei and mochi as well. But you can see it's well loved, but it's so pigmented and rich that I don't find myself like digging into the pans. Like, I don't know if I will hit pan on all of them just because they're so rich and pigmented and there's a lot of depth, and you can get a lot of payoff just by lightly dipping in with your brush. So I'm pleased with my purchase. I 10 out of 10 recommend. If you are maybe you're someone who's never tried Melt, it's pricey, I get that. Test out this Gemini II palette if the color story speaks to you. Same with the Gemini, they're very unique. And like I said, like even if you have a rosy with greens, some type of palette that gives you rosy and green, like I do also have the, for example, the Sigma Enchanted palette. That one has some rosy tones with green accents as well. It's a completely different vibe though. The Melt colors have that grungy undertone, whereas the Sigma one is a bit lighter and for lack of a better words, it's got more of an enchanted vibe and less of a grunge vibe. So yeah, if you're at all interested, I do recommend that you pick it up. It's fantastic quality. It's the very, very good Melt quality. I personally have never had a bad Melt experience. I know that the most noteworthy bad Melt palette that people have had is the 420 palette. I never purchased that one, but I have pretty much every other palette that they've released in the last couple of years, and I really love them all. I'll include a playlist with other videos using Melt Cosmetics, and if you'd like to check those out. But yeah, this is my very positive, glowing review of an incredible eyeshadow palette. I'm so happy to have got it, and I really like how this look turned out. I think I did a good job, if I do say so myself. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Maybe consider hitting subscribe as well. Stick around, maybe watch another video in my Melt Cosmetics playlist, which I will have linked up in the eye. I think it's gonna be on this side, and then down in the description box as well. But hope you enjoyed. It was lovely to spend a little time with my favorite brand and my favorite palette playing around. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.